You can already guess where I am today. I have a big deal going on tomorrow. And I just thought today I'm gonna go ahead and get to my happy place and just do some personal time of reflection. I think anytime you go in to have a procedure or any type of surgery, I think it's a big deal, right? They make you sign that waiver that says da 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 da, that protects the doctors and medical staff, and it says something about it, may cause death. So with that being said, I think every time you go under, you need to be just aware and make sure that you are just aware and thinking of that. Now, I'm not talking about being anxious, but just being aware, fully aware that things could always go wrong. And so I'm thinking about that, but I'm just not going to be anxious about it. I think when we name things, like if you're feeling a little fear or anxiety, that you name that, right? And that's what I'm doing. I'm naming that. And some people may say, oh, it's no big deal. You're right, it is not a big deal, but it is a deal. And so this is what I do when I start feeling a little anxious. And anxiety is that fear of the unknown. Many times, if you allow it, you can get into overthinking. And so to prevent myself from being in an overthinking a situation, I try to make sure that I'm focused on the real thing, right? And always keeping things in order, right? And so I got a call last night from a family member who, was telling me about a loss of his wife's family. And I don't know the ins and out of that, but sometimes those thoughts just kind of creep in. And you have to be very aware of your thoughts and where they're coming from. If you're one of these people, and there's millions and millions of us, if you'll be honest with yourself, that I don't like to say suffer with anxiety, but anxiety is an issue and it does come up. And it's one of those that comes up for me. And it is a low level fear. And I love the definition of fear. It's false evidence of appearing real. And many times we allow ourselves to think and overthink it, and then it becomes something really real and tangible. So my solution to that is to come to my happy place and just to meditate and really deal with the fear and just not being afraid of the fear. So I'm not afraid that I won't come out of my procedure, my colonoscopy, but all things it is possible. And so I just wanted to name that and acknowledge that it's not going to happen to me. But let's say if it did happen, then everything is in order. I'm fine. Either way, I'm fine. And that's true. Either way, I'm fine. So every time I just make sure that my family knows that I love them and I care for them, even the ones that choose not to be a part of my social circle. Many of us, we have family members, and I'm going to name this as well, because coming into the holidays, some of us get to feel in some kind of way because we don't have a good relationship with certain people in our families. And sometimes, sis, it has nothing to do with you. People want what people want. And when you start setting clear boundaries and you enforce those boundaries, sometimes your family members, sometimes the ones that's closest to you are the ones that have a problem with that. But I still say follow your peace. okay? And just understand, people will come and people will go. And sis, people will come back when they're ready to come back, okay? So all is well either way. I don't endorse cutting people off. I don't endorse feeding people from a long-handled spoon. But I do endorse setting clear boundaries for yourself and protecting your peace. And if people decide that they want to leave, then celebrate their absence. Celebrate it. It's all good, right? So I'm not holding myself accountable for people who walk out of my life. And I just hold that firmly in my heart, and I preserve my peace. Because sometimes people can't tolerate you because it brings up things that are lacking in their lives. And sometimes they project those thoughts and those feelings onto you. Okay? And so understanding that many times, it's just going to be okay. And sometimes it is very hard around the holidays to be alone. But who says you have to be alone? I can remember as a younger woman and being away from my family around the holidays, I decided, okay, well, I'm gonna do something fun. And that's when I developed I wasn't a big turkey fan, so I developed a tradition. If I wasn't able to come home for the holidays or, be with family and around the holidays, I had a tradition. I love fish. So I went and I started eating fish on Thanksgiving. And there were many restaurants that, are open and that would serve you some type of fish or seafood. So I made it, a holiday that, some people may say, well, it was just okay. I didn't get an invitation anywhere. Nobody invited me. Nobody likes me. I don't have anybody. No. You got you, baby. Okay? And many times we have to just encourage ourselves, right? And that's a real skill, to be able to encourage yourself when you don't feel like it, or to be able to encourage yourself to go on. I was sort of kind of listening to the life story of Willie Nelson. I say, what? That man is a fighter. Wow. And I could relate to so many things in his story, from, well, I don't endorse, alcohol or, substances abuse. I can't relate to that. But, the losses that he incurred, abandonment from his family at an early age. And I think his son completed suicide. Those things are common. I can relate to those things. Having lost family member to suicide and abandonment of from my father at an early age, and other things that have happened. So I just want you to, around the holidays, just to find ways to encourage yourself. And if you're having difficulty doing that, then check the link below and go to my Stand store and sign up for a one-on-one. That's an opportunity to get some help, some support. Okay, you don't have to be alone, and you don't have to do this alone. We have a community for women, okay, to come together to support each other, especially around the holidays, because I know it gets real sticky, okay? Been there and done that over the years. And I just want to encourage you to consider joining our community, okay? And booking a one-on-one so we can strategize, right? To find out what is going to be a good way for you to learn how to encourage yourself and how to stay up. I always say, keep your head up. And I'm reminded when things are not always going well for me. Sometimes, especially on this social media, so many people make it look like they're perfect. But sis, if you've been watching my videos, you know this one ain't perfect. Okay? From hair, lashes, whatever, clothes, everything. I'm not perfect. And I've learned to stop pretending to be perfect and stop trying to look perfect. It is what it is. Fred Sanford used to say, somebody said, what you see is what you get. And that's called freedom. And going back to the Willie Nelson story, that's what I think he was experiencing in his life now. Just being open and transparent. And in our community, we teach you to do that and to be you. So many times we as women get caught up in trying to be something. And scrolling through this social media, we see all this perfection. Yeah, right. Yeah, I've been a mental health provider for years, and I know people wear masks. I know that firsthand. I've had all kinds of clients. All kinds of clients. And I've helped all kinds of women take off the mask so that they can become the real, authentic themselves and be free to live loud and live proud in the skin that they're in. So many times we're trying to live somebody else's life. You got to live your own life, sis. Whatever it is, that's what it is. Whatever happened to you as a child, that's what happened to you as a child. It doesn't have to limit you, and it doesn't have to define you, even though it does. Those things that happen in our childhood, and it happened in mine. So many things happened in my childhood. And it's made me to be the tough cookie that you see. But tough cookies aren't tough all the time. Okay? So I love my community because we understand each other. We understand that none of us are perfect, that we're all in a process of becoming, okay? And we're okay. Wherever you are in that process, you're okay. Book your one-on-one. Let's get a strategy together for you. Join our community so that you have the support that you need around the holidays and throughout the year. This is so important because, sis, you don't have to do it all by yourself. If this video has been helpful to you, then send it to someone else. It may be a help to them as well, because we are not alone, and you don't have to be alone. Around the holidays, through entering the new year, whenever you're watching this video, you are not alone, and you don't have to be alone. We have a community of like-minded individuals, and we'd love to see you in our community. The link to the Stand Store is there. When you get there, you can look around if you want a one-on-one session, or if you want to join the community. We have lots of things available for you. So this has been Angie, your self-care strategist, giving you some strategies that I hope will help you to get through the tough times and to keep your head up so you can live loud and proud as you were created to be. All right, we'll see you in the next video. That's it. That's all, y'all. Love you.